Greetings and salutations, my name's Kartosael, and welcome back to the Lake Laogai server. It has been a while, both that I have returned to the lake, well, at least on video, and recorded in general, really. It's been like a couple of weeks since my last video came out. I apologize for that. The reason is actually fairly simple. The youngest of my stepchildren is now too old to have midday naps, but too young to go to school. So I have no time to record during the week at all. In about 2 months she'll go to elementary school and I'll have time to record again, which would be nice, you know. Also, the Saturdays have been relatively busy for me, so that's why I couldn't be recording. As for the lake, I have done several things, small things mainly. For one, I finished this thing that I was mentioned I was going to do, I think. I eventually added 2 layers of residential. It's like middle class. Get over here, and there's small houses. They do not have an interior. I gave up on interior design. I can do it, but it just takes too much time. It's not really the point of Kumaria, really. It's the city. So there's that. There's another thing I did, and we'll be heading there now. And as we're heading there, some things we need to talk about. First and foremost, there's a new server starting. With people from the Lake Laogai. If you were following any of them, you already know. It's going to be called the Ripple Effect, or the Ripple. It's constant flux, basically. And it's just a YouTuber server. So I'm going to go there and be active. I'm not going to abandon this server, though. I like my base, you know. It's cool. I did a lot of work, and it shows, in some regards at least. And of course, it's all on the water thingy there. No, I'm not going to leave the lake. I'm not sure if I will record again. Well, probably if I did a lot of work, I might. But if you have followed me for longer than like a few months, you know that I rarely have the ability to just stick with one project in Minecraft. I need at least 2 projects to bounce between to keep me interested. So instead of on this new server, which I have a base design for, switching to different projects on the server, I'm actually going to keep that as my main project and then switch back to the lake as my off project. In that way I have my secondary project as well as reasons never to leave the lake, because I love this server. There we go. Also, not everybody from the lake goes to the Ripple, so, you know, to keep playing with those who stay on the lake, I do want to return every so often. Also, I thought long and hard about why I haven't really recorded on the lake. Even my horse is upset about it. And I have found the answer to that question, and it's because if this was a wuxia, like the Chinese novelty thing, I could say that this base does not conform to my Dao, but if you haven't read any of those, then that made absolutely no sense. What I mean by that is that what I truly love to build in Minecraft are these huge sprawling bases. You have one base, one structure, that just is massive. If you see my Godcrack episodes way back, then maybe remember the huge underground mystical leaf thingy. There was one base and it was huge, and the plans for it was enormous. My second base there was some kind of pyramid, also again a singular base. I tried something different here. I tried to build a city, and it's not my thing. I don't like it. I don't like to build a city. So there you have it. The reason that I'm not really building on this is because it's a city and I don't like doing that. So using this knowledge from now on, in a new project will be, again, the one I love, and that's a big base. That's what I will be doing on the Ripple too. However, I have done something else. You may have already glimpsed it, and that is I have made a castle. I'm going to park my horse. There we go. I've made a little castle. Because in our Discord group, the Missing No built a large building and said, look, I made a castle. And I said, that's not a castle. And he said, yeah, it is, it's just loosely defined. And for the sake of not, sometimes it's best not to just stupidly go arguing, because it really doesn't benefit anyone. I could argue to him that he really didn't build a castle. This is a castle though. So it's in the same style, and it's actually built to protect the entrance into Khmer area territory. And I'm going to just circle around it and explain a little bit, but I'll explain most as we go through it. So this is the outer wall, that is the first gate. We have one of the guard towers, another one of the gates. As you can see here, we move out of Khmerian lands. So we have the gateway, the small tower over here. We have the dungeon as well as the keep, and another medium-sized tower. Basically, it's large until you compare it to the dungeon, which is the main tower of a castle. So we have a double portcullis here, and so this is based on an actual, on the design of a historic castle, not a fancy castle. This is how they could have been built if it, it wasn't made entirely out of wood and stuff. So we have our crenellations, and I think this is actually crenellation, and this is called the crenellation. These are the machicolations, which allow you to shoot, well, theoretically, at the people at the base of the wall. Because if you just had your crenellations here and they would be at the base, you're like, oh dear, it's not. This is how it really should be. Not quite sure why this didn't work out, but this is how they should be. You could just shoot through, theoretically, of course, not actually. Between the two portcullis, the two gates, we have murder holes. So basically, if people break through the first gate, they'll have to break through the second. Meanwhile, we can just shoot arrows and throw boiling pots of oil on them. Ah, yes. Medieval engineers were quite horrendous. Of course, you have arrow slits. And an actual more like guard area. You can just look around. This goes for the smaller towers as well. We have a bigger tower with another floor full of slits, and an even larger and higher survey point. Of course, the same goes over here. I love elytras. Again, the double portcullis. We have walls, we have a keep, and it's basically a bland interior, but it's a castle. I'm actually pretty proud of it. And the interior is not done at all. We have rooms. Like, this is the master bedroom. This is a minor bedroom. We have a little sitting area here, a little kitchen there. If I were to interiorly decorate it, then that would be it. Because a real castle isn't really all that big, like this one. And it's basically meant to house a single family. They will be on guarding the area, and if more people were needed, then they could fortify the castle. But that would be an entirely different situation from the norm. So I'm actually pretty pleased with how well it turned out, especially considering it's all made of wood. I still kind of like it. So that's nice. I did cheat on one thing. There's one thing that's actually not historically correct, and that is the lack of gatehouses. I have gates, but not gatehouses. Now, I'm going to sleep away tonight because it might be a castle, but the gates are wide open because Minecraft, and could be asked to really make nice gates. There we go. So you have this gate, like it's just this gate that goes up and down. It should go up and down if it was historical, but it can't because, well, simply put, there's no space on top of it. this should be higher. It should be a building so that the gates can go up and go down. There should be a pulley system or something like that actually allows it to go up and down. That would not even be necessary in Minecraft, but you know, it would still need space, like right here, where it could go up. And there isn't. And that's basically because I didn't want to make it too big, because if I did that, then the walls would also have to be higher. Well, technically they didn't have to, but the towers would be. And then the dungeon would have been higher. Too much effort, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, except for the fact that there are no gatehouses, this is actually a historically correct castle. Well, and of course, except from the part that's also made of wood. Yeah, that's not really, no. It should be made of stone. But I wouldn't sit the theme, now would it? I might have if, you know, granite was in slab form and stair form, but there isn't. So I'm pretty proud of this little castle. I like it. I like it a lot. And yeah, that's mostly going to be it for this little update. So also a small recap. The videos for the Ripple server, so the all YouTube server, is actually going to start next week, I think. I think the videos will come out then. Of course, we recorded before that, but everyone needs its time to actually do the recording. So that's why there's this disparity, or however you pronounce that word. I'm going to run this horse back and give you another little view of Gloria. So I am really looking forward to that, by the way. And of course the problem is, once I start thinking of a base design, I usually think of another one. And no exception this time, but I'm sticking to my first design for once. And the other design I will save for next season, because the Ripple is actually going to be a seasonal thing. Like Laogai will never going to reset this map, never. So it just won't happen. This map is what we're dealt with and what we'll keep. Which has its advantages, really, because that means that all this work is never going to go to waste. However, it also, you know, for me, it ties me to a base. I can't leave something like this just behind and start something new. I can't. I wish I could, really, but I can't. I get emotionally attached. How silly that might be, I do. So that's that. That's why I do like the idea of, you know, starting a new season, a whole new map every undefined period of time. And I'm looking forward, as I already mentioned several times. Anyway, thank you for watching this little rambling episode. I do hope to see you again next time, which will probably be on the Rebel server. So let's see if I have the right button. That we do. And until next time, goodbye.